what is this guy even talking about? But I'm still going to take the call because who knows, who knows what's going to come of it. But you're doing a really good job. You really are. So thank you. Who's next? Akash, you're next.
So basically the petal for this week is that we have a festival on this Sunday, that is Raksha Bandhan. So that's a petal that's going to be a small gathering of the close relatives and all. So I guess that can be a petal. And there is no as such huge thorn currently. Everything is just stable. It's going smooth. No thorn as such for now.
No thorn. How are you feeling today? You don't have to talk about the attitudes, but how you feeling?
I'm just not too positive, not negative. I'm just I'm happy. Not much.
Happy's
nothing much is going on currently.
I like happy. Kaiten, you're
because
next.
Of his meditation. Because of his midweek meditation session, he's full of positivity now.
Actually, when I was doing something it's the time that we are going to make our 3.0 version live. So from last few weeks, I was looking for the Crashlytics that, this bug has to be resolved soon, because I tried to skip that bug. I had words with Roshan sir that whether to do this or not, but this time I took a challenge that I will do this. Either we don't know the path, so what I add an exception, and if I got something annoying, I add it to the analytics so next time we'll research and solve that problem. So from the next time we'll make it possible to everyone. Everyone can use that feature.
Don't skip the hard bugs, man.
Yeah, I'm not skipping that, but when I used to discuss everything with Roshan, whether we have to do this or not. But this time I have tackled that thing.
Good, that's great. How you feeling today?
Feeling good.
Good's not a feeling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Happily married.
The way you're smiling, I'm just gonna say you're feeling happy.
Yeah, she's sitting right beside me.
Oh wow.
That's a distraction there.
We saved the best for last. The floor is yours.
Nikhil is also pending, right?
Oh no. Nikhil all silent over there.
Yeah, sir.
How you feeling today?
Great, sir. And the point I would be working on would be gratitude. I mean, people usually overlook what things they have and run along the rat race and forget to appreciate the things that they have. So I would be working on it currently.
That's great. Anything bugging you this week? You got any thorns?
Not much, sir. Everything's good.
Nothing? Wow. That's great. Well, that's great. You're doing a good job, by the way. We got to get that Instagram back. We got to figure something out. Facebook is impossible. Why do they have to make our lives so difficult? But we'll figure it out. Even if we have to start over from day one, it's okay. Sometimes things happen. So we just got to focus on the positive.
Yes, sir.
Okie doke. Priyanka, you have to talk.
Yes.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good. Good's not a feeling.
Last week I have worked on bugs, and Akash and Roshan sir helped me fixing the bugs. Even there is a small things whenever I get stuck, both of them get resolved, and they are solving the bugs. Even if it is small thing, that is a positive attitude that I ever found in the team, that whenever is a small thing is there, they can explain me how to do it and how to that. But I have to. I don't want to dependent on them. I will study and all the whole system, because I am only the new joining.
So, any positive attitudes this week that kind of stand out to you? Anything you're struggling with? Anything that you're doing really good at? Doing good
I
with
want to means I want to share one thought, that is what we get is what we give to others. That is the
I agree. What we get is what we give to others. I agree with that wholeheartedly. We can't expect to get back from something that we're not willing to put into it. So that's great. That's a great thought. Okay, so any thorns? I know we have like 10 minutes left, but I really want to get into improvements, ideas that we've come up with that we can, features we can implement, things we can do to make the app better. But real fast before we do that, any thorns or needles? Does anybody have any thorns this week? Anything bugging anybody that you want to get off your chest? Now's your opportunity. It's okay. Something really bothering you.
Ketan has something.
What's bothering you, Kaden?
Nothing. I don't have anything.
It's okay.
Actually,
I mean,
it's also feeling like when you are sitting in a class and someone is like, when we used to be in school, that like our teacher is going to ask something, that it was a thing that someone is going to ask her and they will ask some question to you. So you get bothered about that. That kind of feeling I'm getting right now.
Anybody else? Nothing bothering anybody? I'll say one thing that's bothering me. So this guy, he's an investor, so that's cool. But he lives like 3 hours away from here, and he booked a meeting in person. And now I have to get ready and I have to go meet this guy today. But this guy has like where I asked the questions, like if there's anything that would help me prepare for the meeting, he posted like some weird stuff. And I'm going back and forth. I'm like, should I just cancel this meeting? Because like, I don't know, is this guy going to try to like kill me and chop me up into little pieces, or like, I don't know, this guy, like he posted, like, I'll show you, Roshan. It's just like, what is this guy talking about? But so yeah, that was kind of bothering me today. What's that? Yeah, you're just
We'll
glad
pray
it's
for
me
you.
and not you.
We'll pray for you.
No, but only we will get the depth of that place when you will reach there.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the big part. Who wants to go first? I say ladies first. Ladies first. Any ideas? Something you came up with, at least one good idea that can make the app better. I'm going to write them down. I'm taking notes. Soranya?
I've not actually got a solution, but there's only one thing which I felt maybe might have to change the approach or maybe something. But for a solution, maybe I'll have to work on it to get it. But the thing is, the coach marks, which I find it sometimes when you're I don't know, me as a developer itself, when I'm testing it like sometimes you're in a hurry to do something, and this coach mark keeps like, okay, why every time I need to tap every single thing. So this, I don't know, I feel probably can be changed. I know it's a thing for a user to know, but yeah, maybe I have to come up something.
I agree with you.
That,
I've told Roshan this as well. Like on Android, I think you can just tap off to the side and it closes it. But the thing is the user doesn't know that. On iOS, you can't.
Yeah, I can't skip.
Yeah.
I have to click every time.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
Actually, on iOS, there is no way to skip. For Android, we make that part like.
Right. So we tried to work on a solution, but that library, I guess, doesn't support the skip part. So overall, we have to change the entire library and store from everywhere.
Right.
So that's the issue. That's
It'll
why
be some rework, but it is intrusive. It is bad.
It's important. Yeah, it's important.
Because some people, like, here's the thing: a lot of people, even though they need to read that coach mark, they don't want to. So they just want. Like, I don't even like reading them, and sometimes I think I probably should. Like, I'll skip through the coach marks in a new app, and then I'll be like, "How do I do this?" Then I have to go figure it out. I'm just the type of I like to figure it out on my own versus being told how to do it. I don't know. So. But a lot of people are like that. They want to skip through it, and if every time they update the app, they see those coach marks again, there's a problem. So we do need to think of a better workflow for that, for sure. Maybe even like a toggle, like they can turn it on and off in the settings. Like, I don't know, just ideas. So that's a good
A
idea.
skip button or something.
A skip button.
If
Right.
that's an option.
Okay, Priyanka, you're next.
I feel that means whenever we add something like estimate or any screen, I want to talk about UI. Yeah, instead of making the UI in one page, we can make it as a step by step, means step 1 and step 2, like that.
During
Because
the ad process, like when you're creating a new estimate.
New estimate.
Okay, step by step.
Add new estimate.
Or invoice or anything.
Yeah, anything.
So you're breaking it down step by step so that it's more user friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea. I love that idea. Now the question is, how do we do that? So we got to figure that one out. Maybe you will figure out the solution to that. Step by step UI for add anything. Okay, Nikhil, you're next.
Yeah, sir. Today I tried the estimate process and I really loved it actually. I added the estimate and sent to one of my email, and the process was good. I mean, accepting it, then giving the digital signature and prompt reply on the app as well. But one thing that bugged me right now is whenever I create the estimate, it's a small thing, but if you are adding 15 elements, I guess, within one estimate, the button that we click, I mean, when you add the rate or the unit, it should be default 0. I mean, whenever I click it, I have to erase it first and then add my value.
So the default 100, you meant to say it should be 0, right?
Yeah, I mean, it should, you can keep a default value, but whenever I click it, whether, I mean, I'm clicking it to change it, right? Yeah, it should delete it and accept what I'm trying to write. Because once or twice it's okay, but if you're adding 15 elements and I have to remove it again and again, it would be a bit frustrating.
Okay, like adding a line items in that you are saying, like changing the amount that we have kept $100 as default.
Whenever I used to add a value, it would just replace, not replace the one, just add to the current value. It should replace the one that's already there.
Okay, got it. That makes total sense. That's actually a good idea. That's good. So like when you tap it, it auto deletes. Basically, you're looking for a way to streamline things to save people time, and that's a good one. Every little thing adds up. Okay, let's go with the cache.
So currently the only major thing which I'm facing is the slowness. Means we need a lot of optimization on the app side as well. Few things are there, and on the web panel it's a lot slower. As you also mentioned, that web panel takes, I guess, 5 to 10 seconds minimum to load. So that thing is on priority, and I guess we should try to fix that ASAP.
So can you get specific? If it was up to you, what would be the most important thing, or the first thing you would do to optimize that speed?
Basically, actually, I don't know what exactly is causing this slowness, but there are few things which are getting loaded which are not necessary in the technically speaking, in the code level. So we need to, on the backend side, we need to analyze that and remove that unwanted few things which are causing this slowness. I guess this is the thing which is bothering me the most currently.
So remove any unnecessary elements.
Right.
And then could there be some kind of like loop or something going on, like when they're trying to?
There's a possibility. It can be there.
And it's
We're
causing.
not sure.
Right.
Yeah. It can be there.
Okay. Now let's go with Prathamesh.
Yes, sir. So when we create a job, and most of the times we are forget to clock in or clock out. So we can make when the time is start of the job, we can make a pop-up, like a floating pop-up, like we see in the Google, like match start, India versus Australia.
So what would trigger that? What would trigger that? How would we know that they're at the job site? The GPS or?
No. Time will start now. Visit time.
So
Job
I
visit.
guess he means to say that there should be a floating small
Yes,
thing
yes.
which will show the timer going on, that currently
Yes.
we have
You have to
completed
click.
10
You
minutes.
have to clock in or we have to clock out at this time. So we can't forget to clock in or clock out.
Got
So
it.
I guess if you are clocked in, so you should see the timer that this many minutes are completed.
Okay.
No.
Yes, whenever like we are opening the application, you can see the floating button. It will show the clocking time, like the timer is going.
Yes. When the timer is start, we can
Right.
dismiss it. And after when the visit is completed at the end time, it will pop up again to clock out.
Okay.
That's good. I think that could actually be good. And you're right, because we have had some customers complain. I think in the last week someone complained, Roshan, saying that they needed to be able, it was probably a week ago. He said he needs to be able to edit his employees' time entries because he keeps forgetting to clock out. So, and we explained to him how he can do that. Cool. Who wants to go next? Well, there's only one. It's Roshan and Kaiten. So which one's it going to be?
Yeah, so see, basically, my top priority right now with the app is the subscription, like basically the manage membership. Okay, so what I was thinking that right now it's a web view, so I was thinking that to make it native and make it less step process. So right now there are 3 clicks process when they check out. Okay, so I want to optimize that so that we, when they try to upgrade, they can simply enter their credit card and it's done. So that's something I'm researching on, like on ways to improve the UI UX of that screen, and probably we'll be making it native across mobile apps. Of course, on iOS it's mobile, but on Android it's web view. So I'm planning to shift it to native only. Although it may not be in-app purchase, but we can integrate Stripe SDK or something wherein they can enter the credit card numbers over there itself, and it's done. Something of that sort.
We'll have to think about that. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It would give us more control, I think, over the experience. But the bad part about it is, will Google have an issue with the Stripe SDK? I don't know how that'll.
I don't think so, but yeah, it can be a possibility.
We need to find out first, but I think it's a good idea. Okay, save the best for last.
Yeah. Well, there means like the whole application is having like lots of features with us. So whenever I open the application or whenever I open the code, I found so many things that has been added, like so many things we have to complete. Like as Roshan said that we have the same battleground. So we have to compete with them. We'll have to have these features with us. But to complete those features in time, we have added some extra things in that. Like some other developer also added something that was somewhat useless. So I was looking for some time, like focusing on single module, completing cleaning everything, making it smooth and faster, so that whenever we are opening the application, it should run faster as possible. So there are so many models that we have to work, like revamp something. I in between like developing some of the models, I did that. So those models were working properly, like shopping list also. So it was having so many bugs. So I fixed those bugs, and there are so many things that we kept for pending. Like we'll have discussion and fix that part. This was the improvement that I was looking for in the application.
Okay. Do you have anything, like, is there any feature that kind of stands out to you that needs more work before we move on to something else? Well, all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Actually, all of them. Actually, means like no other developer is working on that. I was working on solely from the beginning on the same application. So means when it was started, we have few developers with us, but I found those approaches was like the lot more time consuming. So I optimized some of the code, but I found so many of the modules that have to be worked properly, or like revamp, or we have to check out the flow. Actually, we are having less time to develop this part. Like there is one more feature is going to come, like mileage logs. We have to complete that thing as well. But yes, once everything is done, we have to focus on single module, making it perfect, and we can move to the another module one by one. I need
Right.
the commission, the whole team to work on a single module so that we can make that module a clean and polished thing. So we don't need to touch that part.
Right. I agree. There's a lot, like we had a guy ask us yesterday or the day before. He said, "Can I ask you though, like why even build a time clock? Because there's 20 other time clocks on the App Store right now, and they all work perfectly fine, and they have more functionality, and the UI is better. They're easier to use. They're more stable. They never crash." He's like, "So why even try to do that? Why don't you just focus on fixing like one or two core problems for construction companies?" And I said, well, the short answer for that is we're trying to solve all of contractors' problems in one solution. That's the whole point of Contractor Plus. And most people, like most tech investors and stuff, they would advise against doing that. They would say that the name of the game in tech right now is integrate, integrate, integrate. Solve one problem really well, and then integrate with everyone else in the industry who's solving the other problems, and then play nice with each other and promote each other to get more customers. And that's the methodology, I think, the line of thinking that most SaaS companies are taking today. But just because that's what they're doing doesn't mean that's what we need or have to do. And
Correct.
I think there's an opportunity here. You know, this is approaching a $4 billion market, and no one, in my opinion, is solving all of their problems in one solution. Like you can go to Service Titan and pay $1,200 per employee per year to try to solve these problems, which most people can't even afford. But then you're lacking asset management. You're lacking, they're lacking so much. So it's, you know, I think there's a huge market opportunity by fixing all those problems. Going along the lines with what you were saying, Caden, my idea over the last week, and I've shared this with Roshan, but it's to make a better onboarding process. Now, we started this a couple months ago, but what we accomplished was more along the lines of the sign up and registration process, and not so much onboarding. Onboarding transfers all the way from the point of registration, from the time when they type their email in, to all the way to the time where they have sent their first estimate, and they've added their team members, and they know exactly everything that needs to happen. One thing that needs to happen for that to be possible is every single pro feature inside the app needs to be on a 14-day timer. That means when they sign up as a free user, they have 14 days to use every feature, even the pro features, to the fullest potential. Now, and the reason for that is that's what they would call a mousetrap. So you give the mouse the cheese, you get them in, and they take the cheese, and now you've got them in your trap. They can't get out because they start using these features, and 14 days later, if they want to keep using them, if they want, you know, their employees to keep using the app, and they want everything to work like it has, then they have to upgrade. Now, we've done that with the job calendar, so that's good. But we haven't done that with things like configure your custom email, add team members. There's some other modules where it's going to require some thoughtful reworking to try to make that possible. But I think there's a huge benefit. Now, the second part of that is actually making a step-by-step process. Now, I took some screenshots and I sent them to Roshan the other day of Workies. They're out of Israel. They're out of Tel Aviv. They're a brilliant company. Their UI is pretty nice. I'm not like a big fan of the spreadsheet style for management, but whatever. But other than that, the UI is really nice, and their onboarding process is very thorough and very, very comprehensive. It's a 2-screen process, but it basically says, okay, now it's time to do this. Now it's time to do this. And at any step through that process, say they do this and this, but they don't do the third item, then they'll get an email. They get put in they get segmented out saying that they dropped out of the onboarding on day 3 or step 3. Now we know how to target them. We can send them a SMS message, a push notification, an email, even a ringless voicemail drop. There's a lot of things we can do to retarget them to get them to complete that onboarding flow. And then of course, at any step of the time, their dedicated account representative, who right now is me, they can schedule a call right there on that same screen. They can schedule a call with me, and I can help them get to that next step. And I think like that's going to be our ticket to success, because we're dealing with people who barely know how to use their cell phone. That's just the reality of this. So that's where I'm at. Anything else for the greater good? Where I think we have a couple minutes left. Anybody got anything for the greater good? No, nobody? Not you, Roshan? Come on, man.
Oh, like we are making the app live today. Finally.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's good. One thing, I don't know if you got it fixed or not, but we have a few different customers that are really, really, really upset from the Android side. Ever since this last update, we haven't been able to find the app on tablets and Chromebooks. Before the update, we could find the app everywhere. You could open up the App Store and it would show up. But here lately, it's like it's hit or miss, and we found out it's due to some like restrictions, like the camera, or so we need to figure. I don't know if it's going live in this version or not, but we have some users.
Yeah, we have fixed that, and we are making.
That's good news, because for whatever reason, man, it seems like most people want to use this on their tablets.
Right.
But yes, I have a point on this, but I was not having those devices with me. I added those means the permissions and the things that was needed to make those applications live for those unsupported devices. I was not able to test those part, but yes, I have added the permissions and all the required things in that. Like the devices don't have cameras or like flashlight, so I made those not mandatory permissions to not mandatory permissions, so that it will be visible to those devices, and we have to make it available to all the users. As I told you in the Thorns and Petals thing.
Is it possible to make like all permissions not mandatory and then just